guys, welcome to Jammin and Jammies, the podcast. I'm your host, Megan Barker. You know the drill. We're sitting down with our favorite music creators, industry leaders, and we're going to find out how they got where they are, get some valuable insights into the music world. Today, it's our first in-person episode.
Very exciting.
It's very exciting. So we have one of my favorite people in the world, my dear friend Micah Snow. Micah, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
And the crowd goes wild. Micah is all things keys player. I don't know what your official title is. He's a session player. He's on the road. You're a band leader. You have a master's degree.
That is correct. Master's degree in piano.
That's a thing, people. Who knew? I didn't know. I'm impressed. So we're going to jump in and just ask him all the things. Micah.
Ask away.
Ask away. Where are you from? How'd you get into music? Go.
All right. Well, picture it. A small town called Big Sandy in West Tennessee, in Benton County, Tennessee, over the Kentucky Lake. I started playing piano when I was in third grade.
Oh.
And the only reason why I played piano was because my cousin, who was 8 days older than I am, started playing piano. Uh-huh. So the world works in mysterious ways, I suppose.
Isn't that funny?
So I started playing piano, kind of took lessons from a country church piano player by the name of Betty Berry.
Oh, Betty.
Yeah.
Thanks, Betty.
Yes. I learned to read music, and then for years, really, I just used my music reading skills and then my ear skills. You know, I would play along with classic country records and then classic rock records, and really didn't take any more lessons until right before college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, just out of curiosity, side note, is one more valuable than the other, learning to read music or playing by ear, or are they just kind of apples and oranges, in your opinion?
I do think that being able to read music serves a pretty good purpose.
Yeah.
It helps in certain aspects, such as making money.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to take time to transcribe out a part by ear,
right?
Sometimes you can just find the sheet music and
that's easier.
Play it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, go back on. So you said that you right before college is when you started taking lessons again.
Yeah, and it was really, I didn't always think about doing music full time. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really until probably 7th or 8th grade when I just really started idolizing people like Billy Joel and Elton John.
Yeah.
That I wanted to be on stage performing.
You didn't know until 7th or 8th grade. What a late bloomer. Gosh.
And even then, I wasn't really sure what the path was to go about for making music.
Did you want to be the front man back then?
There was a brief moment when I wanted to be the front man, but that left pretty quickly.
It was fleeting.
Yeah. Just
a lot of pressure.
I'm just happy to be on stage.
Right? Oh.
Yeah. So high school, I was in this band called, what was it called? South Creek, I think.
That's a great name.
Yeah. We were basically a glorified Leonard Skinner tribute band.
I love it.
So I think there were 4 guitars in that band, and then me on keyboards and bass and drums. But we played like the Big Sandy Spring Festival. And,
wow.
Yeah,
You're
big time.
Big stars in your hometown,
Big time,
I bet.
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, okay, then take us into college when you're... Hold on. We have to hydrate. Take us into college then. What was that all about?
Well, again, not really knowing what the process was to come to Nashville and make money playing music. Mm-hmm. I thought that I should get more education, so I went to college at Union University. I got a bachelor's of music there. I'm sorry, a Bachelor of the Arts with emphasis in music, piano.
Yeah.
And then, even then, I still thought I should at least get close to Nashville.
Yeah.
So I moved to Murfreesboro and did a graduate degree in piano there from 2011 to 2013. And that's really when I really started making relationships in Nashville.
Yeah.
I joined a wedding band, and I kind of credit that wedding band for being the source of my initial contacts and gigs in Nashville. So
really,
I think I played my first CMA Fest gig, not like on an official stage, but on Broadway during CMA Fest in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so then how did you meet the wedding band? How did that come about? Because I think this is so important for anybody who's listening or watching and thinks they want to maybe be a player in Nashville. That's the hardest part, I think, is just making those initial contacts.
Yeah. So I answered an ad on Craigslist, I believe. It was either Craigslist or the Nashville Gig Finder page. Something Facebook related.
Love it.
And went and did an audition at Belmont and got the job. And
do you remember the audition?
Vaguely. It was for those of you familiar with Belmont, it was in, I think, MPA 15. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what I played.
You must have done a good job.
Well, I guess I did halfway decent. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're in Nashville, Murfreesboro. That's Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I live in Hendersonville.
I ended up moving to Nashville in June of 2015.
Nashville or Murfreesboro?
Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently outskirts don't count with Micah.
They don't.
He's so mad I live in Hendersonville. It's so far. What was I saying?
So with that wedding band.
The wedding band.
Yeah. Met a lot of great people, some who are lifelong friends.
Yeah.
And then, once you get to know people that way, they start calling you for other gigs and you get other opportunities, and
it just kind of spirals.
Everything just kind of blossomed from there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So how do you think, if you had a piece of advice for somebody moving to Nashville, wants to be a player? Mm-hmm. Craigslist? Still?
Well, no.
What do you think?
The important thing I've realized now is to just make the move to town and start meeting people.
Just go out.
Yeah. You can start, by going down to Broadway.
Yeah.
And
unavoidable.
Asking people if, hey, could I sit in on a song?
Yeah.
Or, you ask people to coffee or to lunch.
Yeah.
And, just keep your ears open for various opportunities.
I think fortunately and unfortunately, you never know in this town where anything's going to lead. So you just can't afford to say no to anything.
Early on, that is the case. Yeah.
Right?
Because you'll end up playing some shitty gigs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which we all have done.
We've all done it. Yeah. I think I went back and forth for a really long time, but I think I was only here like a week, and I went down to Broadway, mm-hmm. and and this had never happened before, but I got called up to sing my church, Maren Moore's song.
Yeah.
And, I don't think anything came out of it, but that was my first time playing Broadway, and I was really excited that I did it. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's next then? So you're in the wedding band, and you're making connections.
Making connections that way.
What was like the first bigger show that you were excited about, do you think?
Let me think back.
We'll play like a dream.
It's been many years.
Yeah.
I guess the first big gig I had was I did this audition to be a part of Dan Tominski's pop country project.
That's awesome.
And got that gig and played with him for several months. We got to do several national TV shows.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And
does your family get the music thing? Like, do you call your family when something cool happens?
Yes, but both sides of my family are musically inclined.
Wait, how do we skip over that? Okay, go back to your childhood. Tell us about your family.
Well, so on my mom's side, lots of church music.
Yeah.
I grew up playing in church. On my dad's side, my dad played drums, although I never got to hear him play in person.
Aww.
I have a recording of him playing when he was in school in the early 70s.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm glad you have
But
that.
his side of the family, his uncle and cousin were on the Kentucky Opry.
Wow.
My great uncle was,
Royalty.
I think a band leader on the Kentucky Opry for many years. So.
I had no idea. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It runs in the blood.
Apparently.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so sorry, we're back to Dan Tominski. You got a cool gig, call
mm-hmm.
your parents, and they're like, well, that's so cool. What about after that? I mean, so tell us about like life on the road, any funny stories, what is that like? And do you prefer road life or like session life?
So from Dan Tominski, I went to Maggie Rose and played with her for several months on a spring tour. A lot of fun road times on that gig.
I bet.
She's
awesome.
both bands, just really good people, very talented people. And let's see, for Maggie Rose, we gosh, there were a lot of other gigs in between there. Not top tier artists, but
Yeah.
and then we come to Mitch Rossell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Mitch fan.
Yeah, which
We
I'm
both are.
currently with. Great songwriter, great singer. I think he's got a lot of things.
Yeah.
Got a lot of things going for him.
Yeah. Absolutely. He's written a lot of Garth #1 hits, if you guys don't know who he is. He also was just on America's Got Talent
Yes.
a couple weeks ago, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But he's awesome. What has that been like, working with Mitch?
I love working with him and that
Yeah.
band. Yeah, we're the best of friends, and we joke and cut up, but we make good music, and
Yeah.
it's not always very glamorous.
I was waiting to
a
see
few
if you
weeks
went
ago,
there.
Yeah, I mean, a few weeks ago we played to 30 people in this very dank club in Birmingham, Alabama.
But 30 people showed up.
But on that then following weekend, we played to 600 in Ohio. So
Isn't that crazy?
you folks can see the ups and downs of the music business, especially when you're working with a independent artist.
Right. I mean, I don't know many people that are more hardworking than Mitch.
He's very hardworking.
Very hardworking. And I think you can also get behind the scenes on their Instagram stories every now and then.
Absolutely.
I've seen them shoving lots of stuff into a small car.
Oh yeah, we play Tetris with the van if we're in a van.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough to have
I hear
a
we
van.
may be in a tour bus for some things in the fall, though. So that will be a definite upgrade.
Okay, we'll see.
Me personally, I like flying to gigs, but
listen, okay.
I'm privileged.
Don't get too big for your britches there, okay, buddy?
Also, I will say with Mitch, this is another thing. I never thought I'd fly on a private jet.
Did you fly on private?
I've done that now twice with Mitch Rossell.
Stop.
Yeah.
Bougie.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to have Mitch back on here and get the skinny, because he was one of the first people we had in 2020 on the virtual thing. So we're going to be like, hey, Mitch, listen, take us on your private jet.
Update, yeah.
Wow. Okay. You've played the Opry.
That is correct. And actually, we'll be on there tomorrow night again. With Charles Esten, who is another bigger artist I started working with in 2017.
Tell us about that.
Chip is a great person. He's so nice.
Yeah.
Takes great care of the band.
Talented.
He's a talented songwriter.
Yeah.
And a great entertainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does, folks know that he's an actor. You've seen him on The Office and Whose Line Is It Anyway, Nashville, and then most recently on Outer Banks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell us about playing on the Opry.
Well,
were you excited? Does this mean anything? I mean, you're Kentucky Opry royalty, so does this mean
I never
anything to
was
you?
on the Kentucky Opry, so to be on the Grand Ole Opry is very special.
Yeah.
I know the first time I played there with Maggie Rose, I was so nervous and I was freaked out. And it was so exciting. But even now, I think I'm on my 5th or 6th time playing.
No big deal.
Which to me, it's special every time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you done the Ryman?
I haven't played the Ryman yet.
Not
so
yet. This
the
year.
Ryman and Bridgestone Arena are the two venues in town that I would love to play that I haven't.
I'm sure it'll be soon. Especially, I feel like there's like a month, or is it more than a month in December where like the Opry goes to the Ryman?
I think that's in the winter months, like December and January.
Yeah.
So maybe something will pop up.
That's
then.
what I'm thinking. That's what we're manifesting right now.
We are manifesting it right now.
Okay, so forgive me. I'm going to jump around a little bit.
That's okay.
But can you talk to me about unions? Because I feel like it's a thing of the past. I grew up kind of around music, so I heard a lot of union talk. I don't hear it anymore. I'm not a session player. I don't know. Tell us what they are, pros and cons, all the things.
Well, I am not a member of the Nashville Musicians Union because I don't do a lot of studio recording.
Okay.
If now there are benefits, I think they can provide you health insurance, and Dave Pomeroy is a great advocate for the musicians here in town, even for those who play on Broadway. Mm-hmm. He's tried to make a lot of reforms down there to, some success, but sometimes it's hard to rattle old cages. So
sure.
Yeah. I think it would be wise to join the union if you are of that caliber to where you're doing, master level studio recording day in and day out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like you're not the first person I've talked to who's who's not. So I just kind of wondered if it was a thing of the past or if it was still viable. Talk to me about having a website and social media as somebody who's not a front man.
Well,
important, not important?
I may not be the best person to ask about that because I don't have a website. I just have, my Facebook page, personal Facebook page, and then my personal
But I'm interested to get a lot of
Instagram
people's take
page.
on this because if you don't need it, you personally don't need it, then...
I haven't, I probably have just been lucky in that.
I don't think you're lucky.
I haven't really needed that much.
Thus far, yeah.
And I also, so many people take a lot of time just to post a lot of content on social media. I've never had to do that.
Yeah.
I think that may be in part because I'm not a front man or a front woman.
No pressure.
I'm not trying to make it as an artist.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do feel that I probably could get more gigs if I posted more content of me playing. I don't know.
There's always something more we could be doing, though. I didn't ask the question to stress you out. I just was curious.
I just have little patience to do stuff like that.
I get that. I really do. I really do. I think if it's something that you can do and you want to do it, then sure. But yeah, don't put pressure on yourself because at the end of the day, I think it's all about networking, however you get it done. So, you've always been, I think the first time I met you was at Jammies, I think.
I believe it was, yes.
Yeah.
When it was over at Live Oak.
Or maybe it was even before that.
It was before it was called Live Oak. Is that right? Live Oak?
It's Live Oak now. We were at Frisky Frogs for a long time, which is now Live Oak. But I think I even met you before that when we were at South. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. It's okay.
I do, South.
You remember South?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's another conversation. Anyway, my point is Micah was out making the rounds, and that's where we met, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
That was all pre-pandemic, and it seems things have changed then.
It's weird. Everything's weird. It's fine. Can I ask, how would one figure out how much to charge for what you do? Like somebody brand new just got to town. How do you decide how much to charge somebody? Depends how desperate you are, I guess.
I think when you're starting out, you want to be cognizant that you are new to town. Yeah. And unless you're coming from, a major successful background in Los Angeles or New York City, you probably want to adjust your pay scale accordingly. So not to disparage your own talent, but just to allow you to kind of get in the I guess whatever you call it.
You got to build up your resume and pay your dues a little bit, but you also got to pay your bills. I understand. So I just wanted your take on that. So that's a tough thing. And
back to to degrees, like I feel like me as someone who has a master's degree, for certain things I can charge more. Absolutely. Just because I have that.
You're a master.
Paper that tells me I have some level of expertise.
What made you decide to get your master's?
I wanted to really, I think I still at that point just didn't know, like, how do I be a full-time musician in Nashville? So
you thought it would just give you a leg up.
Yeah.
Do you think
I wanted to do that to get closer and just to further my piano study.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's worked too, because you're right, just like you just said, just being able to say that you have a master's has probably helped.
It has.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would say so?
Especially when you deal with, like, for instance, I work at Belmont University.
Yeah.
When they're in session, and having the master's allows me to charge $40 an hour.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Tell us about that. What is it like teaching, being on the other side of...
So what I do there is play for vocal students, mostly classical, but there are some commercial students and musical theater students I play for. And so I go into their vocal lesson with their professor and...
Scales. That was me playing scales, by the way.
So we're usually there's no time to do a warm-up. So they are straight into the music that they have, and we start right into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does that stress you out?
No.
Can you see yourself ever doing anything outside of, I was going to say country music, but you don't just play country music.
No.
So anything outside of Nashville, though, like Broadway or LA or anything like that? Are you pretty happy here?
I'm pretty happy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're Tennessee born and raised also, so It's hard to shake it.
It's not. I've not been to Los Angeles, but I've been to New York City, and I like New York City a lot.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I could see you have a New York vibe. I mean, actually, wait, I've never been to New York, but you still have a New York vibe from the movies.
But New York's major scene there is, Broadway in terms of Broadway musicals, and the thought of playing the same musical day in and day out for 6 months is not appealing to me at all. So
yeah.
I enjoy the freedom that Nashville provides.
What is your favorite kind of music to listen to and to play?
So both to listen to and to play, it's classic 90s country and classic rock.
Like who? Name some of your favorite artists.
Well, as you know, in the classic country realm, Ronnie Millsap, Glenn Campbell, Alabama, Conway Twitty. In the 90s, Alan Jackson, George Strait, Garth Brooks, Trisha Yearwood.
All the classics.
Classic rock, Billy Joel, Elton John, Bruce Springsteen, U2.
Oh, I love it.
Styx.
Tell us about your Billy Joel, Elton John show that you do.
Yeah, so myself and my friend Chris Smallwood, who I met he's a fellow worker at Belmont, fellow piano player there.
Look at that networking.
Yeah, so we formed this band in 2015.
Has it been that long?
It has,
wow.
Yeah. And we initially we started out small playing at a spot here in town called the Sutler. R.I.P. the Sutler.
Gosh.
Yeah. And then we just decided, we're going to try this at 3rd and Lindsley. So I was able to get in touch with Ron Bryce, who owns 3rd and Lindsley, and we've been playing there since 2017.
Take us to your first show at 3rd and Lindsley. Were you nervous?
I wish I could remember.
Really, you don't remember?
No.
Well, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it wasn't bad then. But I mean, that's a big room for a Nashville artist to play 3rd and Lindsley. It's a little daunting. It's a lot of tickets to sell.
It is, but I can say proudly that we have sold out that room multiple times.
Okay, wait, hold on. I don't want to be a jerk, but is it you or is it because you're playing everybody's favorite songs?
I think it's because we're playing everybody's favorite songs.
Okay, touche.
Nobody's coming to see me.
No, that's not
play.
true. No, I feel bad. After all these years, I still have never been to a show.
This Friday, June 30th at 3rd and Lindsley, we will be playing.
I can't remember what I'm doing. I'm usually playing, guys. That's my excuse. I don't mean it. But one of these days, maybe this Friday.
Yeah, and I mean, we've had several great shows there. We played at City Winery several times.
Yeah.
Just played down at the Mule House in Columbia.
Isn't that place great?
It's great.
Oh, it's
beautiful venue.
Talk about a drive. Okay, that place is far.
It is a bit of a drive.
You were complaining about Hendersonville. No, they're worse. But from Hendersonville to Mule House
that's a hell of a drive.
It was a drive, but beautiful spot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay, tell us. Is there anything on your? You said Nashville. You want to play like Bridgestone, the Ryman. Mm-hmm. What else do you want to do? What else is on your bucket list?
Well, it would be, just an artist who can, in terms of artists that I would love to play with.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, are we being realistic or not?
They have to be alive.
Okay.
They have to be alive. No, don't be realistic. As long as they're living.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to play with any of those people that I mentioned a couple of minutes ago.
Oh, well, then plenty of them are alive and kicking. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get to play with Garth. I mean, you kind of have a Garth connection. You never know.
You never know. That's true. That's one thing. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, the whole networking thing is kind of wild. Okay, so you'd love to play with any of those people. Anything else that you want to do, like in your life?
Ideally, Mitch would become a superstar.
Yes.
So much pressure on him. You better do it. You better do it.
We're counting on you.
Then
we open for you.
And then we'd be able to play various arenas and baseball parks and places like Red Rocks and I think that's really that's my goal.
Yeah.
Just to play those bigger venues.
Would you write a book one day on spill all the tea on all the celebrity artists that you've worked with?
I mean, I might could write a memoir someday.
I like that.
It depends on how many NDAs I would have to sign.
A Micah memoir. That's what you should title it. You're welcome. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I feel like this went really quickly. Everything I wanted to ask you, we kind of flew through. Like, is there anything that we haven't touched on? Any advice that you'd give your younger self on coming to town and being a session player? And
Well, to the newer musicians in town, when you come here, just be diligent about meeting people.
Yeah.
Be respectful. Be respectful of people's time. Don't come to a rehearsal
Ugh.
without knowing the songs backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
A rehearsal is not the time to work out notes of a song or chords. A rehearsal is the time to play the songs and get them arranged and performed like what you want.
Rehearsal isn't practice. Rehearsal is perfecting.
Yes.
Is that right?
I think that's a good phrase. Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Have you made any boo-boos?
Have I made boo-boos in the past?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really? He doesn't want to tell us his boo-boos.
I mean, nothing major, thankfully.
Yeah, but just little things.
Mm-hmm. You live and you learn.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely done that. Was there anything else we haven't touched on? This went by way too fast.
It did.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. I thought we were going to be sitting here like an hour or two.
How long have we been here?
I don't even know. Okay.
Well,
I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Well, maybe if we think of more, we'll do a part 2.
There's always room for a part 2.
There's always room for a part 2. Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure.
If there's anything we didn't cover also, let us know.
And you can check me out on Instagram at Micah Snow Piano.
He is on Instagram.
I am.
Do you have a website? You don't have
I don't have a
official
website.
But you can find him on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to speak on his behalf. Shoot him a DM if there's something that we didn't ask.
That's exactly right.
See?
I'll be happy to answer any questions.
He's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we'll do this again. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
This was fun. The first one in person, too. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys later. Thank you.
Adios.